All right. Well, hello and welcome back to the Prism League as we're going to have our last game of the week here. Give me just 1 second to get the lobby set up. And then we should be hopping into this one pretty soon, I hope. Just, of course, because that game ended so late, didn't really have time to swap everything out. So, working on that now, though, as hoping this is a good one, but I think more than the last one, because I did favor Atlanta, probably more than I should have. I mean, obviously, as the result showed, but I definitely said Incheon could fight, and so they obviously did. And so we'll see, as this one I especially think should be a close game, and we will see if it is. But, well, actually, wait. No, I just said the wrong thing. I think Houston should be favorites here. I think Houston, I'm going to predict a 3-0. I think that is very confident, probably too confident, but I'm going to predict it. I think you look at the standings, Kyoto are currently alone at 1-5. Houston have been inconsistent, but during their highs, they have beaten OKC. So I think Houston are inconsistent, which is the one window that could give Kyoto a chance here. And I don't think Kyoto are a dead team who are just going to lose out. I think they can put up a fight, and they could maybe take a few upsets. But I think Houston are a team that if they're playing at their average or their high, they should absolutely win this. And so we'll see. As we've gone through this, you can see if they do get a win, they will tie Havana and New York at 4-3. If they do lose, then they will drop to tie Florida and Steinhatchee at 3-4. Obviously, if Kyoto lose, they'll stay down at the bottom. If they win, they will join St. Petersburg, Round Rock, and Miami at 2-5, which would put the bottom four all tied for that, which would also probably hurt clinches, because that's another team that would need to get to 6 losses. Although, to be fair, wait, do any of those teams play each other next week? Let me check that. I gotta check that. Round Rock, so to Round Rock, St. Petersburg, Miami. Okay. Miami play Kyoto. Okay. So basically, if you are Hanoi or OKC, you are a Houston fan here. Because for both of those teams, if Kyoto win, they need to win to clinch next week. If Kyoto, although actually Hanoi do anyway, because Hanoi play one of those teams, don't they? Yeah, Hanoi play the Wave. So no matter what, Hanoi need to win to clinch next week. They win and they're in. They lose and they got to wait a week. For OKC, as you can see, they're at 6 wins up there at number 1. And so if 4 teams get to 6 losses, they can't catch up to them anymore. And so therefore, if 9 through 12 have 6 losses, obviously that meets that condition. And so if Kyoto lose here, then that's 1. And if the other 3 lose, then that meets that. Meanwhile, if Kyoto win, then Miami and Kyoto play each other. Only one of them can drop to 6 losses. You know, you get where this is going. And there could be a chance where you look somewhere down the road and they still end up playing each other, or like 2 of those teams play each other, and so they can both win, or one of them can lose, or something maybe. But I don't think that could meet it. I don't think that'll help. Either way, I'll try to look at all that, especially with no games tomorrow. We'll get it figured out. But either way, as we are waiting for one of the teams to join up here, we do have the other in. You can see your key players here are Streak and Nate. Averages well in favor of the Hornets, except for shot percentage, which, fair enough. I guess Kyoto hit their shots, but they don't shoot quite as much. And you can see Nate pretty clearly number 1. Meanwhile, Streak and Boss tied for leading the most stats on their team, and even the assists tied between Boss and Beef. So much more spread out, which I feel like is this team. As I've said, it's not really, I mean, saying it, I guess, is a dig at them, that they don't have the absolute wow factor on their roster. saying this about Houston. They don't have that. However, they have 3 good players who are consistent or roughly consistent and play around each other. And that allows them to beat teams. Now, that's probably where the inconsistency comes in, that some teams, like I would think OKC, but definitely Hanoi, can outspeed them, and that can shut them down. But they play around each other, they can control a game, they can play good defense, and so they can just close out a win. And so that's what's big here. And we'll see, you know. We'll see how this one goes. But I definitely do favor Houston because I think that, like I said, this is a solid roster who should be able to control out a win. However, in saying that, I also need to point out that with their inconsistency, maybe Kyoto can find a window and take them down. So definitely not saying this is a guarantee, but it does feel like we should be pretty confident, as Houston are in their call. They're not in the game yet. Of course, they did send the info at 9:01, so the FF timer would be till 11. But we're just going to hold and wait and see. You know, hopefully they get in here. If it takes another minute or two, I'll check in with them, make sure they're good. But true, you do got what, another minute? Yep, you got 1 minute to get your predictions in. I know a lot of people like to gamble. I'm going to stall a minute, and it will be open while the game starts, as it appears we should be ready. As I forgot. See, the live series is cool, but it's another thing for the streamer to remember. So, on me, I didn't do the live series for the last one, but as we load in, let me do it for this one. Melo trying to drop this one down. We start out Houston in their yellow, Kyoto in light blue. Okay, well, do you want me to, Smurfy, or are you going to? I guess I'm already working on it. I'll do it. There's one. There you go. And Streak scores. So while I'm doing that, Boss hits it forward. Just takes the dribble, passes it off. Streak forces it through. The Dignitas. We've seen Houston claim that a little bit. Of course, was mainly claimed by Couch and the Birmingham Bandits. The Dignitas is their jersey and their team because it is their colors. This one, though, dropping down. This one down from the ceiling. Boss trying to roll it out towards the side. This one out towards the side. Beef able to get it away. Nate trying to play it back in. A little bit of a bump on him slows him down. Boss now going to pinch it out. Nate's still on it. He drops it down. Streak gets the save. Streak backs up the defensive side and now tries for the offense. It's a fake. No, it's a ghost touch. You see him stop moving. How does Streak get that goal? The pre-flip, ghost touch, steal. Houston are up 2-0. How did Streak get that? That is the game just scamming Beef completely. And this one rolling down into the corner. Nate trying to pick it up. Back out. Nate still staying with it. Demo by Streak. Yak now. 50 back out to the side. Mello gonna have to spin around. Now to the back wall. Is there a double? Boss falling. Has a shot. Yak saves. Nate another 50 to beat Streak. Beef keeps it into the corner. Almost a clip. Just got denied. Yak now already up for it. Boss pops it off the right again. Streak trying to jump up. One off the back wall. Nate is there. Beef's there first. Beef now chasing it all the way down into the corner. Yak able to pop it over him. Streak now going to get removed. Leaves Boss alone. Low boost. He just dives. Gets 150, but Yak takes a second. Wins it up to Mello. Mello from his corner, or from the opposing corner. Yak trying to dive on this one. Just loses the 50 back again. Dropping down. Mello going to catch it away. Streak already on it. Popped up. It'll bounce back down. Streak is there. He scores. 3-0. It's a hat trick for Streak. 2 of them earned. And it's a 3-goal Houston lead. Kyoto have not been completely shut down. They have had a couple looks here so far. But kind of like we said, Houston just have been able to shut it down and get goals through on the other end. Now Srika pass down. Yak able to dunk Boss though. Beef has to rush back as well. Yak trying to center, but only got the one touch, although it does get there. Mello, I'm not sure if it was blocked, but just hits the post. Beef now up off the side again. Trying to drop it in. Will get played out to the side. Yak gonna stay with it. Trying to get it out. Now drop down right into Boss. Up off the corner. Falling down. Mello. He's going to win it forward again. Now bouncing away. Mello going to send it long. Down off the corner. Bouncing around that one. Pop just wide. Nate now beat again. Beef. Trying to get to this. Yak trying to pass it back. Boss off the left wall. It'll center. High in the air. Takes a touch. Staying with it. Mello dunks it away. Now Beef on it next. Dunked in by Yak. It'll try to center again. Yak trying to get it there, but a demo on Mello and it's clear by Boss. So Nate up off the back wall. Beef leaves it down, but no shot there. Shriek just plays to the corner. Beef gonna get the boost. Boss now off the right wall. It'll fall towards the net and just in. Boss makes it 4. A demo to go with it as well. It is 4-0 Houston. Nice one forward, off the back wall. Nate not able to reach it. Yak gonna send it long. Streak. Trying to get the reset forward. It is towards the net, but Mello able to send it away. Now Boss up around the outside. Of course, 80 seconds to go. Definitely not a lot of time left over here for Kyoto to make a comeback. But as we said in the Atlanta game, if you can at least get a couple goals on the board, break up the shutout, get yourself some momentum, puts you in a better mental sphere, as that is unfair. What a save from Boss. I mean, I guess you could say that, put it right at him. But I mean, that's just how this game has gone for Kyoto, isn't it? They finally beat the defense, but Boss just falls down and pinches it away. And it stays 4-0. It stays a shutout. And Kyoto just can't get anything to bounce their way so far here. Ticking down, 30 seconds approaching. Comes out to the side again. Nate still going to stay with it. Boss recenters it, looking for another 50, but Mello able to win that long. Now dropping down, Nate towards net. Beef clears it out to the left side. Back towards the back wall. Yak gonna pop it back out. Mello towards net, just wide. That one pops out off the post. Now it's Beef up high after grabbing the corner. Nate gonna drop it down. Streak to the left, cutting forward. Streak's trying to stay with it. Got demoed though, and Nate able to block it. Now Beef trying to center again, but the clock strikes 0. And we'll see if we get a 0-second goal. But either way, the result will be the same. Houston are gonna get the first on the board. I mean, clean enough. There were definitely some chances, some looks for the Otakus, but they get outshot 5-10. They get outscored 4-0. I mean, that's a bold one, Kellen. How much did you bet, perchance? How much would you have bet on this game, Kellen? Because betting Otakus is bold, to be quite honest. And so I feel like that you have to be playing the odds. Okay. 700, not bad. That's not too many. As we do load in game number 2. Yeah, if you're trying to profit, that's fair. I think the most bold is Halio putting 15K on it. Nice one off the left side, pinching back down again. Oh, it's just gonna get beat. Mello trying to win it forward, but Beef just gonna get beat. Now this one centered out. Yak, another dunk, but another save made by Streak again. Oh, 50K. I mean, they should be a lot better. They should be quite a bit better, but yeah, there is a lot to bet on them individually. Mello trying to stay with it. This one dunked down. Dropping out again. Boss Trying to get it out. Does find Beef, and they'll find a clear. Nate gonna try to work it back in. Dunk down from the ceiling again. Yeah, trying to cut it in. Gonna get dunked by Boss. Now off the right side, falling down. Mello gonna get it forward again. The first minute has been pretty solid for Kyoto. Houston have managed to bounce away their attacks, but they have had a lot of pressure, which is absolutely what you want to see. This one up the right wall. Nate just going to stay with it, trying to get it forward. Towards the back wall, it'll drop down. Passing out again. Boss off that side wall. Now cleared away again. Mello going to stay with it. Beef jumps over it now. Awkward for Boss. He'll play it off the back wall, trying to follow it. That one gets away. Now this one will dunk back down. Yak's already in the air, and Yak has a goal. There's lead number 1 for Kyoto, and goal number 1 with it. Popped up, bounces down. Yak has a shot. Finally, the defense isn't there. And the Otakus are going to strike first here on DFH. Controlled by Yak. Beef able to get it to the side. Now Beef gonna win it forward. Running low on boost. He's got Chase. He's gonna cut. Trying to center it. Streak is there. Tie game. No payout here. Because Beef has the pass. Streak has the finish. 50 right through Mello. Top of the net. Just under the crossbar. Brings it even. How many points do you have, Minty? Willing to throw a clean 50K out there. Nate now has an argument with the corner. He does lose that. Beef trying to play it forward. Nate gonna get removed. Mello maybe Chase as well, but Beef will settle for the corner boost. Now Boss will pass off the back wall. Boss also looks for a demo. Also won't find it, but Streak has another goal. I mean, he's had nothing but goals. I believe that's what, goal number 5 of the series. As he just bangs it off the left wall, and somehow it has the right angle. Bounces down, bounces in. And it is 2-1. Houston are right back in front. Kyoto do score first, but they don't hold on to it for long. This one centered out. Yak dunked up in the air. Nate trying to follow it. Popped down from the ceiling. Mello bangs it forward. Beef saves it to the side. Off the right wall. Boss trying to play it across. Nate staying with it again, trying to play it in front. Yak has a shot. Kyoto are gonna put up a fight. It's a tie game. Boss doesn't have boost. Streak just not able to get up fast enough. Beef maybe waiting on his teammates. Not able to react to it. One to the back wall. It'll roll out. Beef. Trying to bounce it out towards center. Yak. It's dunked on it. Boss back into the corner again. He'll just follow it himself. Just centers it out, but Nate able to pop it away. Now Beef back towards the back wall again. Mello able to parry it. Streak over jumped, but Boss will move into support. He'll bang it up off crossbar. Look for the double. It's just eye. Bit of a crossbar ping. Now Nate blocked out by Streak. This will get to the right side. Falling back down. Beef able to get another shot. But blocked early on by Mello. Now Boss gonna dive. That's towards net. Just high. Streak there. High again. Boss weak. Mello's there. The crossbar getting its fair share of action as it stays tied up. Boss tries to bang it forward, but it's off target and guided out by Nate. Beef now down for the ceiling again. Streak. Gonna look for the reset. He'll stay with it. Beef there too. Beef forces it in. 3-2. Houston back in front. With weights behind it. Does Streak, but Beef barrels through and bulldozes right into the net. A dunk on the defense to secure it. Makes it 3-2 here. Streak dropping down. Nate trying to center it across. Beef popped up in the air again. Yak gonna drop it down. Boss still trying to follow it. He'll get it forward, but it's off the crossbar again. The arch nemesis of Houston here on DFH. They'll be glad to get away from it, but they might need to get under one more time because Mello has one on the other end, and it's 3-3. Boss gets bumped forward. He can't get back in time. Mello has an open net, and Kyoto continue to battle back. This one now off the side again. Beef dropping it down, trying to cut it forward. It'll roll up the back wall. Nate gonna keep it close. Trying to stay with it. Streak to the back wall. Yak will play it out to the side. Now this one towards the net, but just wide and now caught away. Mello still staying with it. Trying to get a shot down. Yak will jump in next. Play off the back wall. Nate there, dunked out by Beef. Now Mello staying with it again. Up forward towards the net, dropping down. Boss gonna stay with it, and then Nate dives in. Houston lose themselves, but Nate finds the net. Boss misreads it. Beef tries to react, but can't in time, and Nate just bounces it in. 4-3, 4 seconds to go. Kickoff is to Beef. He'll bang it towards Boss. Him and Streak keep it alive, but it falls. And Kyoto have tied the series. Houston get a little over eager. They make the mistake in their defensive half, and they are immediately punished. Kyoto managed to stick around all game, and then they pounce on the mistake as it happens. They're not going to go down easy. Everyone involved in the scoring, 2 for Yak, 1 for his teammates. 11 shots across them. As we load in game number 3 on Urban Central. Boss might have an early shot. High again. We need to get under the crossbar, Houston. It's not the net. You don't get points for hitting it. I know the ping sounds like a reward, but it's not. Beef to the corner. It'll bounce straight out. Mello trying to get it clear. Just going to wait under it. Now Boss down from the ceiling again. Nate trying to get it forward. Beef around the outside. Yak trying to bounce it in. Mello trying to center it out again, but Streak able to reach it. Now banged up to the corner, bouncing around. Nate gonna stick with that one. Beef now gets beat by it. Nate up high in the air. Over to Yak. He can't turn it in. Couldn't quite reach it. Did keep it close, but now Houston break the midfield. Dropping to Streak. Dunk. Goal. Streak puts Houston on the board. Saved by Nate, but right back into Streak, who sends it in the left side. No crossbar on a ground play. And Houston find themselves a lead. What? You said that wrong, Lemon. I know what you mean because of that second message. But you mean if Kyoto beats Houston and Houston beat OKC, then do Kyoto beat OKC? Which the answer is no, because we saw that match earlier in the season. But, you know. As Boss trying to pop it up, Streak with the pre-jump, won't quite reach up. A little bit too much on it from Boss. Now Beef trying to dive in. He'll play it back into the corner. Power ranking shift and Kyoto are now number 1. But they gotta win this one. And Boss doesn't want to see it. Streak centers. Boss scores 2-0. You know, the one thing I will say that I've been thinking about. Houston have not won a game I've casted. I'm pretty sure. Like the last few seasons, they were undefeated until I casted, or like, yeah, I think they were until I casted them versus Florida, and Houston won that. And then I casted them in the playoffs, Havana won that. I think I cast them earlier this season. I think against Havana again. They lost that. And so, you know, against Kyoto, you would think that would break the trend. But which is more powerful? Me casting Houston or Houston playing the number 12 team? This is the question. As this is down from the ceiling. Beef trying to pinch it in front. Streak's there. 3-0. Streak gets, that is goal 7 on the series, I believe. That's number 7 on the series for Streak. Continues to be the shooter. As Houston open up a 3-0 lead. This one bouncing down. Streak has another. How about his second hat trick of the series? As it is 4-0, Streak adds another. Feel familiar? We're at game 1 score. The problem is there's 2.5 minutes to go. So technically, winnable for Kyoto, or it could get much worse for on Houston's side. Mello trying to pass this one down. Beef gonna get a light clear. That's right at Yak, but Streak manages to get a piece of it. Now Yak out to Nate, but Beef bumps him off it. Yak will get the corner steal, but Beef still gets a 50. Boss left alone. Nate just wide. Boss hits it to the side. Off the back wall, trying to drop down. Mello on the 50, blocked out by Beef. This one dropping down again. Down from the ceiling, Boss. Not able to get to that one. Beef gonna send it long. Streak look for the redirect. This time no ghost touch. This time no goal. Down off the right wall again. Out to the side. As that one is in. 5-0. Is it every other caster? So it's just you. Okay. Nate a little bit awkward on it. Boss able to dive in, dunk it away, and make the lead 5. As in case you haven't noticed, which it would be hard not to, both games Houston have won have been dominant. Meanwhile, the one time Kyoto started to get a bit of control, they were able to hold on and take advantage of a mistake late in the game. So that does definitely seem to be the name of the game, which obviously, if you score goals, you're more likely to win a game. Duh. But it has to be said, early in that game, they were getting pressure, and they did break through and get that goal, but they continued to push even afterwards. Meanwhile, think of this game. Think of game 1. Houston have just been holding them back in this half. And they have had moments to break forward, but their individual chances don't seem to be enough. It has to be a bit of a build-up or a bit of a mistake, which will happen a lot less when you're just getting one shot and then an immediate clear. And so we'll see what we get in game 4. But for now, game 3 is all Houston. Crossbar ping. Do we have another? No. Bit of a callback there. You hear the ping coming through. Now Streak looking for a reset. Boss gonna pop it away. Streak trying to wait on it. Yak catch out to the side. Beef trying to pinch it forward. Mello open net. Surely not. I was gonna say surely Boss can't save it, but he gave up on that real quick. Boss realized he couldn't get there and said, gotta save the time. As Mello gets credited for the goal, Boss makes sure it goes in. Now Boss, let's see if the extra second helps him. Nate just gonna dunk it back in. Off the corner, caught, but Beef dunks it away. Beef down to Streak, Mello cuts it out. Mello now up against Boss. He gets the mid boost, but Boss gets the ball. Towards the back wall. Streak. What a redirect for a pass, but no one there. Mello just going to get a touch. Clock will hit 0. It is a Houston win, and it is a 5-1 final score. Not 21-1 in the series. It is 2-1 in the series and 12-5 in goals. Houston outscoring them. They've won both games. They've won by 4 goals. And it's once again Streak. Like I said, 7 goals on the series. He has been so much of the offense, scoring in every game. But can they do it again, or can Kyoto manage to find a bit of pressure to put themselves in it? That is the question as we load in game number 4. Houston are on match point. Houston have played clean so far in the series. But can they continue to? This one out to Mello, blocked wide by Boss. Sweet has to wait on it, allows Nate to stay on it. Now bouncing around again, Nate another 50 up high in the air. Yak a bit far forward, he'll just have to go lateral and then get a double forward. Boss trying to win it upfield, he's just gonna follow it down the sideline. Now caught around again, this one will center out. Nate, that's not the spot he wanted to be in. He'll drop it down to Streak, who drops it up to Boss. But he blocked by Yak, leaves it out to Beef. Beef in the air, one reset. He'll stay behind it, but couldn't do it again. Now Streak looked for a shot, blocked away again. This one now down into the corner. Dropping out, popped out to Boss. And I was going to say it's under the crossbar, but it's into the post. So the woodwork continues to be the enemy of Houston as it stays 0-0. I mean, game 2 was the worst case. That they lost it, and it felt like there were at least 7 to 10 crossbar pings. Last game, there were a couple, and this game, of course, does start with another. This one's dropping down. Boss sent away. Nate trying to pop it out to the side. Mello gonna play it forward. Nate just wide. That's Boss. Yak off the corner. I don't know. I've seen Lincoln play, so I don't know if it's a record. This one's dropping down. Streak gonna get dunked back in by Mello. Boss trying to slow it down. Yeah, Boss still staying with it. He grabs the mid boost. He pops it up. He'll go for the air dribble. He'll get a reset. No, didn't get it. We'll get a bump though. Trying to set up a teammate, but Yak gets a good 50 on it. No, Yak still staying with it. Close on the bump from Mello, but Beef does get by it, does get the 50, and does get a long clear. No, Yak up in the air again. This one cleared out. Boss gonna shoot it forward. Nate out to the side. Boss gonna pop it back away. Beef playing it across, and Streak not able to reach. We reached the halfway point. This definitely much more what Kyoto won. Haven't been able to get as much offense, but have held off Houston's. As this one is gonna go in. You don't need a lot of offense if you just get the goal. Nate centers it, gets the reset, and just bounces it right behind Boss. Exactly at the halfway point. It's 1-0. Kyoto get the goal on the board. This one now dropping down, bouncing across. Nate gonna get a long clear. Boss trying to stay with it, dropping down. Mello, dunk back out. Nate, Boss is awkward. He gets a save, and Streak will help him out. Plays it out to the corner. Yak trying to recenter it, though. Nate pops it up. Boss will get it away again. Beef now another long clear. Streak off the back wall, no double. Yak down the side. Boss trying to roll it forward. Mello blocks it away. Under 2 minutes to go. Plenty of time, but that time bank is shrinking. This one up off the side by Streak. Nate playing it across the side again. He's now going to bring it down. Popped out. Mello trying to recenter. Kyoto would love another goal. Give him a little bit of security. That's a good pass. Is there a shot? No, but it fakes out too. Popped up Yak. Nate has a shot. Boss is there. Boss are on the outside now. Still trying to get it away. Nate. Comes back down from the ceiling. Streak off the back wall again. Nate gonna drop it down. Nate gonna clear it forward towards the net. Now off the back wall. Yak trying to shoot. Plays it away. Mello's there. But it gets cleared out. Now Nate trying to follow it. Beef cleared away. Centered out. Streak takes a touch. He gets a 50. It's a tie game. Boss gets a great pass. Streak uses his shot as a pass. It just bounces right off Yak, and Streak dunks it right back in. If they lose this, then there's something wrong. And you need to find ways to stream their games, I think. They aren't, yeah, no, I don't think they're undefeated with you casting, but they haven't won with anyone else casting. This one's played out by Streak. Yak trying to stay with it. Honestly, true. Nate clearing it away. Beef trying to get to the side. Yak able to deny it, but a good follow-up by Beef. Able to beat Mello as he gets demoed. Now Streak gets back to it. 50 in front, but Nate sends it out to the side. 20 seconds to go. Overtime looming. This a good position for Kyoto. Again, this is where they won last time. Nate now has time to the crossbar. He does it again. Kyoto lead. 13 seconds to go. This time it's a mistouch from Streak. And Nate takes advantage. He goes right through Boss. He gives his team the lead. 13 seconds from game 5. Yak wins the kickoff. Streak picks it up. He has space. He tries to fake, but Mello dunks. Beef popping it forward towards the net. Yak can't save it. Streak brings us even. Houston will not let it happen again. They had 9 extra seconds. They use 11 of them, and they do get the equalizer. Now 2-2, 0 seconds, and OT looming. Beef will try to ice it, but can't get it through. We have overtime in game 4. Nate trying to follow it. Boss saves it to the side. Yak trying to go up, drop down. Beef will shoot though, and that will do it. The first 3-1 of the week in the Prism League. And Houston are gonna move up to 4-3. Not exactly dominant, but controlled enough in games 1 and 3. Well, dominant in games 1 and 3. Good enough in game 4. Houston do manage to beat out the Otakus, and they do manage to pick up a win. Good news for OKC. Solid enough. Good news for Houston, upgrading their record, moving them up into the tie with Havana and New York, who I believe... What happened in New York, Houston? I don't remember. Let me look. New York or Houston beat New York, so that'll make that tie interesting. I'll have to figure that out, and I'll have standings posted in just a little bit. But before that, well, let's check in on if we'll have an interview. As always, you would assume so, but have to make sure. I want to see. Streak got a couple more there, right? Let's see. Murphy's bot should tell me, because he's definitely the leading scorer. Yeah, 10. All right, and we are going to have an interview, and so we will be back in just 1 minute with Houston. Well, it got a little scary at the end, but we are back with the Hornets. You win 3-1. How's it feel? Streak's dog's excited.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, they got really
Who's rooting for us?
I think the dog got excited for the Otakus for a second. But
He heard doggo
But
and he was
nah.
like, "Oh my god."
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a good win. That we needed that for sure, especially because our record is 3-3. It's right in the middle of the road, you know. So
Yeah.
right in
gotta
the middle
separate
of
ourselves.
yeah, all the Prism hecticness going on.
But we did it. We did it with no couch, and we did
Yeah.
it with
Yes,
you,
sir.
doggo.
I was
Broke
gonna-
the curse.
We broke the curse. Game 3 or game 2, and then when they got that goal late in game 4, there was a moment of surely not. But you guys did
That's
hold
okay.
on.
We had Streak who hits the gym a lot. So, bro, he got like how many dunks did he get that series? It had to be like
He got
I saw
like 2
minimum.
in the
I was
last
about to say
minute of that.
minimum. I remember like 4. I'm pretty sure.
Follow-up question: how many crossbars did you guys hit this series?
Oh, that's probably like 20. I don't know.
At least.
It's up there.
Yeah, at least, bro.
Gotta be.
Like, it's just man. Ungstad is hitting, bro.
You're gonna have to hit the training packs on that one.
Ungstad is hitting. Don't play the game. I gotta hit the shooting packs again. I gotta get back into the game.
Yeah, but the bright spot of that, I do gotta ask Streak, 10 goals this series. Felt like he was
Oh, it was 10.
everywhere.
You did it.
Yeah.
He was counting them. Don't worry.
I was, and then Smurfy's bot confirms it, so that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if it was 9 or 10. Awesome.
His goal was like 10, so we got perfect.
Just in the right spots, hitting your shots. What happened?
I was in the right spot, and I saw Halio was catching me on the leaderboard, so I wanted to
Got to lock in and get those
hopefully
goals.
pull ahead.
What's up? He better get offensive player of the week for that.
Okay,
For real, yeah, Koa.
you know what's crazy? Looking at Smurfy's counter. So it lists top goals, top saves, top assists. All three of you tied at 4 assists.
Nice.
Let's go. That's what's up.
I tied up 4 assists. Is kind of crazy.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
do gotta
We
ask,
did. That's crazy.
looking forward, you guys do play Steinhatchee next week. Is there confidence there, or how are you looking at that?
I mean, that's
You know,
a
we
good
just-
team.
Yeah.
So
Good team.
we definitely gotta lock in. We gotta bring our A game to that series for sure.
Yeah, Doggo, we know we're an inconsistent team, but like we'll lock in, bro.
If
we're
we're
gonna say they
are
inconsistent,
too.
does that make us consistent?
Consistently inconsistent.
Exactly.
We're too hard to guess, It's like
I
how are we
mean-
gonna play today? Hard team to verse,
I mean, the pod is called them a very inconsistent team as well. So
Yeah,
it's the
I'd say
battle of
both
the
are.
inconsistent teams.
That's
Who's
what's
the
up.
better, less inconsistent?
The battle of the who are you?
Who's peaking today, basically?
Yeah. All right.
We excited. We ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's about all I have. So congratulations on the win, and good luck next week.
All right.
Alright,
thanks.
thanks.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
So that will do it for this match, and it will do it for Prism's Week 7. But remember, that's not it for the night. Pixel still has one game to go. That will be Mincy and Vice taking you through that. That game's at 10 o'clock, so they'll be live in about, 5-10 minutes. So you will not want to miss that, but that does do it for Prism. Houston join Havana and New York up at 4-3. They'll be looking forward to clinching just a couple weeks, but of course, got a long road to get there. Meanwhile, Kyoto, a good performance, but just not able to close it out. Their season's starting to look dim. But that does it for tonight. Your final score here, Houston 3, Kyoto 1. And that does it. So we'll see you in just a couple minutes to wrap up Pixel's week with the Season 1 Finals rematch.